So I was invited by Ellen, who's running for mayor in San Francisco, here in November 2019. Facebook page. Check out my Crowman17 Facebook page. Live here in San Francisco. I just documented this whole thing. They're pretty. I guess they're pretty upset about some of the things that have been happening. And some of the people are telling me that she's going to win. I hope she does. There's definitely a lot of work to do here. Her slogan is "Make San Francisco safe and clean." And safe and clean is the last two words I would use to describe this city right now. I walked past a big heaping pile of crap just walking over here, and it's kind of hard to believe that there are people getting married right here on the same block that there's giant piles of poop. Oh, it was almost made me want to vomit coming up here. But she sounds like she has a plan, and she really wants people to vote for her, and she's not in this for herself. She wants to make something happen here. She wants to make a difference. I'm wishing her the best of luck. I can't vote for her myself because I'm from San Jose, but I'm definitely supporting her. She personally invited me to come here and document this. And oh my God, look at this. Hey Kaepernick, check this out. Where is this? I'll bet this will piss off Colin Kaepernick right here. Both of them. Oh, I guess San Francisco's a racist city, right? Anyways, so she's running for mayor. She's running in here in 2019 in November. If you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, she's a big Trump supporter. She also is known as the Chinese Donald Trump. So one of the stories they told just now was that there was apparently like some 80-something-year-old woman, 85-year-old woman, who left her house, was attacked outside by an African-American man, and drug her back to her house and held her captive in her own home while he robbed her and beat her, and right now she's in a coma. And that's not else. That's not all. Apparently there's a whole bunch of stories like this, and a lot of them are just really, really pissed off. She did do part of the interview in Cantonese. I can talk about what I'm going to do with the other video, but I will fix it up and see if I can do something right with it and get it uploaded onto the YouTube and maybe BitChute. I am uploading more there. But I'm going to see if I can grab one of these pictures really quick to show you guys. This young man, I guess, was attacked at work, and this person was this elderly woman who was taken back to her house, and she's in a coma. So they're calling these hate crimes, because the majority of the people attacking these people are actually African American, and they're not trying to blame the African American community at all. What they're really upset about is how politically correct everyone's trying to be and cover up the whole idea that it's largely an African American community here in San Francisco and a Latino community here that is continuing to assault the Asian community. Nobody's doing anything about it. These stories, from what she reported, was that these stories, when they came out, the report was made, but it was buried in the media. They didn't want to put it out there because it was 4 black guys who did this to an Asian woman. And the same thing like they're doing in Europe, where they don't want the story to be out there. They just say, oh, a person was raped, a person was assaulted, and they don't want to give any details about who the attacker was. And that's what's going on here. And it's got them upset enough to come out here and have this whole press conference. The news didn't show up, but it was put out there because, again, they don't want this out. They don't want anyone knowing about this. And it's a huge problem, and people are mad. So, here in a minute, I'm going to see if I can get her to say something about all this. She's putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort into this and what money she has. So if you're from the San Francisco area and you can vote for Ellen in November, please do. You can go to her website. I'm sure I get that somewhere. Put it in the description below. Right now she's doing this in Cantonese. There's a few other people that I wish were here today who have seen this. This is really important. And the stories are pretty brutal too, some of these things that you're hearing. To be held captive in your own home by a stranger. And she'd already left, like I said, the person had left their house. They followed the old lady, attacked her in the streets, and then drug her back to her house and held her captive for 5 hours while he robbed her. And I'm sure if the person wasn't in a coma, they'd be here to talk about this today. It's a nice turnout. I'm just going to move in a little closer. So right in front of City Hall. So one news truck did show up. There it is right there. How much of this they're actually going to report? You know, I'm filled with doubt. I'm sure that there's not going to be much. But at least someone is reporting on this who isn't just a mainstream guy like myself. Let's see if anything comes of it. We'll see if anything comes of any of this. If she gets in, get her in office. My biggest concern is when I look at the size, the scale of the problem here in San Francisco, it's just gotten so out of control. What can really be done? There's just so much work to be done. It's a mountain of a mess between the poop and the needles and the crime, and it's just so gross here. I used to love this city so much when I was a kid. It's just a big dangerous mess now. I don't know how many people are out here right now. Looks like maybe 30. And a huge portion of the Asian community of San Francisco has really come out and they're trying to voice their concerns. I'm going to get as much information as I can about what exactly they're pushing and their online information. I'm going to get it all in the description below. So if you want to see this, if you want to hear the speeches, they're on my Facebook, Chroman17 Facebook page. So be sure to check them out. I hope the audio is okay. I have my doubts. Anyway. I hope at least the Asian... Damn it. Oh, good. I hope at least the Asian news stations are reporting. I know that's not enough, but it's a start. I know the ones in Houston are pretty opinionated, yeah. Check my audio on my Facebook page. There wasn't a lot of questions. I had like both the questions myself. The attack happened in May of the older lady who was drug into her own house. And man, hard to believe this is becoming an epidemic. Oh boy. I think I got somebody. What exactly? Like, so she's running in November, right? Running in November. And so how many reports, how many attacks, how many incidences has there been?
Non-stop. The thing is that it's a lot, but the thing is that the media isn't reporting it.
They're not reporting it.
They're not reporting. I mean, they hear about it. Like I can hear about it. The Asian but the mainstream media is
mentioned. The Asian media has mentioned it, but the mainstream is not. And this is like the only. So this was put out there, but only one news truck showed up right over here, right? This truck right here. I haven't seen the sides or anything. I don't see any markings on it. But that's what they were talking about. That only. Remember, it's probably an Asian community truck without it. It's what? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. They don't want it out there.
Of course not, because they want to let us read it.
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, that struck me what they said about the crime's supposed to protect the criminal, or not supposed to protect the criminal, supposed to protect the victims, and that's what's going on here. They're protecting the people who are attacking because they don't want to report on it. Political correctness, yes. So she's very anti-political correction. It destroys their narrative to report on this.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
Well, we have Asian media.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, that one that happened in May with the lady she's in a coma right now, and this happened back in May. Oh my God. And she was it was said that she left her house. They followed her, attacked her in the street, and then drug her back to her house. Raped her in her house for 5 hours. Yeah, I can see why people are pissed off.
The media is protecting these, even though
they're calling for people to be arrested. Yeah.
They're targeting the elderly. That's the problem. There's so many cases of it. But nobody knows about it because they're not reporting it.
So you're not going to hear about this. The reason why you're hearing about this now is because we showed up and enough people are so mad. They're not putting it on the media. They're not just putting it out. Like you said, it destroys the narrative. I wanted to get someone to give me some information, but yeah. Oh yeah. What else? Other stories? I saw a picture of a young man who said he was going to work.
Yeah,
He was leaving work. Oh, he was the one with the 4 African American. Oh my God. He's also in a coma.
Yeah, and then they information about the attackers.
All they know is that it's just 4 black guys who have no idea what their names are, what they look like. They really are protecting them. God. Yeah, this needs to stop, you guys. And I think Ellen's the one to do it. Change needs to be made. This isn't going to stop anytime soon, especially if they're trying to hide the information. If they don't want this getting out, and they're protecting the criminals. This is all bad. So you're the one behind all this.
Okay.
So I got the story now. These 2 stories. I got the elder woman. I saw the picture, and the young boy. Both of them are in comas. I didn't realize that.
Oh.
That's unbelievable. And this is becoming more and more of an epidemic. This is just becoming ridiculous, huh?
This is it has been ongoingly that target Asian people. The rally today is that we specifically understood the mainstream media will not report. They don't even care what's going on within the community who are victims. It happened to be I am an Asian, and I happen to be in the community and getting reports. So I organized this rally for people who had a voice. I'm glad that you came. And you are the only English media in here other than the Chinese paper in here.
You gave me a personal invitation. I couldn't turn you down.
Right? But you see, I gave all the invitation to channel 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the channel.
Noticed one truck showed up.
Well, they didn't do a thing. They show up for something else at City Hall.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And they're here for something
we have channel
else.
2, 4, 5, 7, the local areas. We have Examiner Chronicle. When we invite invitation, we invite all the people. Unfortunately, my experience, they will not come.
They will not.
They don't want to come.
They know what you're about. They know what you're working on.
Yes, because I am the loudest voice and stand up for San Francisco, and that's what the life should be: protect all people. Yes.
All lives matter.
It happened to be I am a government employee. It happened to be I'm an Asian. I am an Asian myself. It happened to be I'm a mom, and it happened to be I am a healer. I heal homeless. That for everything that I've been going through, that is because I realize it's abused. The homeless been abused.
Used and abused. Yes, they're a
Yes.
tool. You're
Yes.
right.
If they receive 6,000 a month, that means the more homeless they come, the more money the electoral office will get. So what's the point?
More homeless means more money for the office.
Well,
How long have you been in office? I know you mentioned that earlier. How many years?
Well, I have been a government employee as a social worker
Social
for 15 years.
15 years. Okay.
I worked it with delinquent youth. I worked it with people on welfare. I worked it with people who just got off jail and looked for me for housing, shelter,
Really?
and medical.
All right here in San Francisco?
All in San Francisco. Like right now, currently, I work at an office that behavioral health. We gave free needles. We gave
So you were
drugs.
part of that. You know for a second they were giving out free needles. You were part of that. I'm not saying it's your fault, but so you
I
saw
am not.
this.
I am not personally hand out free needles. But my department, public health, is giving out free needles to people, the homeless people. You will see people going there and say, "Here, free needles. Here,
You heard it
take
right here, folks.
Well, yeah. Yes.
They're obviously not helping the problem.
No.
It's
A true government will arrest the drug dealers off the street and allow the police to be police and enforce the law and remove the homeless and put them in rehab program and give them job and give them homes. I spoke to so many homeless people. I interviewed them.
really.
And they said, I want a place to stay and I want a job. That's all they want. But 15,000 people will continue suffering. Do you understand that 4,000 people, within the last 2 years, 400 people and more died on the San Francisco street?
400
400
people.
within 2 years.
Yeah.
That means an average between 150 to 200, an average a year, just died on the street, and then public health pick up their body.
In my experience, what I've noticed here, if you stay on the wrong streets in San Francisco, you don't even hear the sirens when they come up. They just drive up and they pick up the person in their coma or they're dead and they drive up away. You don't even know that they're down there until you see the flashing lights because it happens so often, it happens so frequently. Someone I know who might be watching this knows that experience. We woke up the next morning and saw fire trucks lined up outside the hotel, but we were awake all night and never even heard them show up because it's just another Tuesday here in San Francisco.
Well, I don't know what else to say. I mean, as a mom, if I don't want to see my kids on drug, I don't want to see anyone on drug. As a government employee, I do not want to see people dying on the street. Every life matters. People born with parents. People were once functioning people. They were not homeless before, but the drug dealers and the government feeding the free drugs and they're giving them 5 million a year free needles and continue to give it to them.
$5 million a year in
No,
free
5 million needles.
5 million needles.
The drug,
much
I think
that
they
costs.
spend about 3 billion a
3
year.
billion.
3 billions
On
on
needles
illegal drugs
here in
and
San
illegal
Francisco.
needles and homeless people. About 3 billion. Because San Francisco have 12.3 billion. 12.3 billion. I calculated already. With 900 residents, with 12.3 billion, everybody entitled to 1,300 a month. 1,300. 1,300 a month. A month. That means
A month?
Yeah, a month. Because 12.3 divided by 900,000 residents, that means everybody entitled to 1,300 a month. Which means nobody should be suffer from hunger, sickness, and anything, and dying on the street.
But it's happening.
It's happening. The question is,
Something
why?
wrong with that. Yeah, why?
Well, because I'm running for mayor right now, I take some information out, I learned the politics agenda, and I realized that San Francisco, the election office, the voter fraud, it's pay and buy. There's no longer a fair election.
Yeah.
And it's pay to play, and if you check the election office, more than 75,000 voters, they should not be in the voting roll. they inform me about it. If you go to Ethics Commission and you check out 2018, the city, the Democrats pay themselves $4.16. It's called pay themselves. It's called matching money, the public money, and go corrupt the system. And you know what happened to me?
What's that?
They do not allow me to go in forums and debates.
They don't allow you to do what?
Forums. When you have mayor's forum and mayor debates,
Oh, okay.
I asked them, how come I'm not allowed? They said I'm not Democrat. Therefore I'm not allowed.
Democrat.
I am not Democrat.
That
Therefore
doesn't-
I'm not allowed.
Is that even legal? Are they legally allowed to do that? Can you say you're not allowed to do something because you're not Democrat?
According to my understanding, it is a violation of fair election because the money was paid by the government, and many of these debates they happen in public library and city hall. Right here, city hall. They have debates with live TV programs and library right there across the city hall. They blocked the door and told me you're not allowed. I go, wow. No wonder. I am trying to set a good example for San Franciscans. When I become a mayor, I will dedicate 50% of my salary. I'm going to create programs. I'm going to train the youth. I'm going to train the parents so they can be independent and away from the government has been abusing them. I will train people to stay away and be an independent person.
That sounds awesome. That's what people honestly need. I really truly believe we need to learn how to be self-reliant and dependent on ourselves instead of dependent on others, dependent on government. Now I have a good question for you.
Yes.
With all this that's happening, and you sound like you have a mountain to climb. How are you going to make this happen? How are you going to get around the system, or at least fight your way through it? It sounds impossible.
You're exactly right. Every time when we put our press release like today, because I'm Asian, so you see the Asian media today, but you don't see the mainstream media, and that tells me that the Democrats pay and bought to their media of their choice. My name, you will hardly see my name in the mainstream media, and if you see my name, it's always something bad. Okay?
Really?
So for me, the question is,
Not surprised.
how am I able to go bypass and break the glass ceiling?
Yeah.
Right? For 55 years, there's no Republican Party in City Hall, and you know, it happened to be I am a person with God's love. I personally believe if God wants me to be a mayor and take care of San Francisco, I believe that God is going to do the work for me. With man, everything is impossible. I don't have $5 million. I only have enough money to print out some flyers, and I have the time to talk to people, and I think people to volunteer. The people you see today right here, we all formed as a group to fight off corruption. And the group in here that we all together since 2007, January 2007. We formed this group from all 11 districts to stand up, to give people a voice. Yes, in America, we can say it out loud, and yes, in America, that we can always seek help from other people. We do not take yes for an answer. We will continue to fight. We will not back down. We will not give up. We will continue to fight until the voters in San Francisco, they understood that if they continue to vote for one party, Democrats, then we're all going to sing together. We're all going to be dead in here, and we're all going to be killed in some way. Because every day there's people assaulted, we get people die on the street, we get victims, we get car break-ins, and it's ongoing. And anybody who comes to San Francisco could be the next victim. I could be the next victim.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see the reports now these days, people come to San Francisco, they say, you know what, it's a beautiful city, I love your restaurants, but I'll never come back again.
That's exactly. You see needles everywhere, you see feces, human feces, dog feces, and you see the electoral office officials, they pass by, they don't even care.
They don't care.
They don't.
Someone commented, by the way, said you seem like an honest, very honest person.
Well, my God trained me to be honest. The truth will set me free.
Good.
I mean, a lot of people think that I might be too much. too right. Why you say it out loud that they are wrong? Why you say the African American people, target the Chinese? I said, but those are the facts.
Yeah.
They
Facts
do
are
not want
racist, right?
This is not about racist. It's about fact that
Yeah.
people get robbed, people targeted, people raped, people assaulted by this group of people. It has nothing to do with who. It's
San
becomes
Francisco policy that lets it happen.
that's
I
right.
agree.
It's a
It's the
failing
policy.
policy.
Yes, exactly. A
It's
failing
failing policy
and people
by
are
Democrats.
recognizing it.
By Democrats.
It's
It
not.
happened to be Democrats.
Who else is going to take the blame? It's been on their shoulders this for the last how many years?
They become socialists. That's what
Yes.
it is. Can we
Well,
be
that's
honest?
why if you go to my website, Ellen for Mayor 2019, I says no socialists, no communists. We want
That's what it
love.
is. The
We want love.
policy where you,
Yes.
the services of people, other people are not free. That's socialism. I mean, every
That's
history has
exactly.
proven it. That's failed.
Well,
It's a horribly failed system.
I've been here for 33 years. I live in San Francisco for 33 years. I'm a Sunday school teacher. I'm a teacher for immigrants, and I learned how to protect myself by engaging dialogue with politicians and people who make policies. I don't think they recognize the people who want a quality of life in San Francisco.
They don't because it's corrupt, like you said. It's
Yeah.
control.
Yes, it's about money. It's about power. So if people in San Francisco, it's about time for them to vote. Vote for leadership. See, when I become a mayor, I'm going to release the program for people to have housing. I'm going to work with the government. I'm talking about the federal government. So people who are no longer qualified and should not be representing the government, they should be out.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know what gets me? Why a president can only serve 2 terms for a total of 8 years,
yes.
but Pelosi's been in like 30 plus years.
That's a loophole.
Thank
That's
you.
a hole.
Why can they serve? How come they can serve 30, 40 years? I don't get that one. Senators and
You're exactly
congressmen.
right. So when I become a mayor,
We need to have term limits on those
That's
guys
right.
too.
When I become a mayor, I'm going to put term limits on all elected office. Currently in San Francisco,
You
we
hear
have
that?
high number.
That sounds
Yes.
important.
And I
That'll
remember Kamala
drain
Harris
San Francisco's
took the way
swamp.
up with
That's right.
Mayor Willie Brown. I know that. I don't know why people went after Kavanaugh, who didn't do, a Republican, remember? And he was found innocent, and they had to go back to 30, 40 years in his high school. My goodness, to
Yeah,
try to
just
dig up
find
dirt.
something.
And here we are, find something that Harris did. We all know she did it, and yet the Republicans, the Democrats
The
won't
double
touch it.
standards.
I will.
It's
A
ridiculous.
double
I will.
standard, yeah.
Drainage.
I will create laws for San Franciscans to understand that every office no more than 2 terms. And that's
Awesome.
what Republic form and that's what democracy
For
is.
term limits, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But San
They
Francisco, we
become
have,
millionaires. Look at Pelosi.
Yes.
How does somebody get paid $185,000,
And what has she
$200,000 a
done?
year, or almost accumulate $150 million?
you understand there's a lot of public office. They in there to dry up the public
Yeah.
resources.
Of course.
Yeah, she's only gotten.
How
Oh,
much-
here comes Linda,
got-
favorite Brie right here. Hello.
Oh, look at that.
Well, I say hello. And
You're going
no
down.
matter what, you're still a mayor for us, Linda Brie. Well, not say even hi, but I say hi.
So rude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She won't even say hi to us.
Well, I say hi.
You show you the best.
Because she knows
Of
she's,
course. Well,
she's going down.
regardless what happened, Linda Brie is still my mayor. I
Yeah, of
respect
course.
her.
I mean,
I
I
pray
don't-
for her, and I hope that she had good health and good heart, and make San Francisco a better place.
Hey,
I say hi to her,
Yeah.
but you see that she's
Hey.
angry.
she would walk right past you and ignore you even if you were shooting up in front of her.
I think so.
Oh no,
I
she probably
think
give her a clean needle, actually.
But anyway, if you are in San Francisco, think about whether you like the government or not. It is not about the government. It's about the people inside City Hall, and it's people behind the people at City Hall. Pay to play. If you do not like what you see, it's about time. Vote for me, Ellen. Yeah. And you see that when I become a mayor, you see that my platform. You see my platform right here. That's right.
There you go. She's got her points on her card. Okay, it can't get any better than that. These people tell, I have a plan. Well, what's the plan? Look, she has it right there on her card.
Right here. I will clean up City Hall and the street. No feces, no needles, no kidding, no joking. I will audit the public books to reduce government waste. I will create housing programs to release the empty apartments, 50,000 and more for teachers and tenants and workers. And I will restore a government with integrity and ethics. Right now, our government is corrupt. They don't belong in City Hall. And I will enforce the United States Constitution. You know why the United States Constitution? Because it protects your health, my health, your wealth, my wealth. And that is why our founding father put the Constitution for free speech, for press, for people to express what they want to do, and the people government built by the people, not just because a few family and a few elites able to pay and play. And people don't even say hi to the people walk by. You know, I say hi, you know. Anyway, but that's me. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, thank you so much for that. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
For inviting me. I hope to come again.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you. Vote, okay? Vote. Remember, vote. Ellen Lee Zhou, make San Francisco safe and clean. Okay? Go to my
Vote
website,
San Francisco.
Ellen. Yeah, Ellen for Mayor 2019. And you can help me by donate $10, $25, so we can continue to print out the small cards and passing out to people. I
got a
will
lot
not
of work
have the
to do.
money to put out ads like the Democrats because it's pay to play. I am a people person. I stand up for San Francisco.
She has the energy. She just needs the funding.
That's
Get
right.
behind her.
That's right. And the votes. I need
votes.
San Franciscans to vote for me.
Yes, please. San Francisco, drain the swamp, vote out these monsters, these disgusting people. This person is going to make change. This person is going to make San Francisco great again.
Yes.
Safe
Together with
and
your
clean.
help, yeah, we will. Safe and clean, that's right. Yes.
All right. Thank you again so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you guys for tuning in. Love
Thank
you.
you.
Next time. Hey, again, check out the video, the speeches. They're on Microman17 Facebook page. Latest post. Adios. Que estados unidos se grande otra vez.